Hello there, everyone. Welcome. So glad you're here. I'm Renee Carbone-Fleming, founder of Badass Queen, and we are going to talk about something that I think is costing you, honestly, more than you realize. I want to start with the question and be honest, okay? You can type it in the chat or you can just nod along, all right? Have you ever opened ChatGPT, typed in something like, write me an Instagram post about my business, and you've gotten back something that felt fine? I mean, not bad, just not you. And then you either rewrote the whole thing or you just didn't post it at all. If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. That's not because you're bad at AI. And it's not because AI doesn't work for your kind of business. It's because there's a piece almost nobody teaches you. Okay. And once you see it, you'll never use AI the same way again. So here's what we're going to cover: the exact reason your content has generic and felt generic, and it is not your fault. We're going to talk about the three-part system that turns AI from a gimmick into a real visibility engine. And we're going to give a real example of someone who went from invisible to consistently showing up using this exactly. Okay. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly what's been missing. And for those of you who want to go further, I'll show you exactly how. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. So let's name the misconception directly, because I think most everyone watching this has it in some form. The misconception is, I've used ChatGPT, so I use AI for my business. And technically, sure, you opened a tool, you type something, you got an output. That happened. But here's the thing. That's the equivalent of me saying, I used an oven, so I know how to cook. Like, technically true, but also, did you make anything good? So here's what actually happens when most people use AI for content. They type something in like, write an Instagram caption about my coaching business. And the AI does exactly what it's designed to do. It gives you the statistically average response to that prompt. Not your response, not a response that sounds like you, the average of everyone who has ever asked something similar. And that's why it feels hollow. That's why you rewrite it. That's why you eventually give up and go back to writing everything yourself, which is exhausting. And the whole reason you tried AI in the first place, right? So here's the missing piece. It's called a brand voice prompt. A brand voice prompt is a set of instructions you give the AI once. That tells it who you are, who you're talking to, how you sound, what you never say, and what you're trying to accomplish with your content. Once that exists, everything changes. You're not asking AI to guess who you are every single time. You're giving it the answer up front and then asking it to write within that. Okay? So one shift is building a brand voice prompt. It is the single highest leverage thing you can do with AI for your visibility. Everything else builds on top of it. Okay. And I can show you exactly the prompts that you want to use. Okay. So now that we know the missing piece, the brand voice prompt, we're going to talk about what you actually build on top of it, because a brand voice prompt alone isn't a system. It's just the foundation. There are actually three parts to a real AI visibility system. So we're going to go through each one. Now, again, part one is your brand voice prompt. We just covered this, but we're going to go a layer deeper. A good brand voice prompt answers 5 things: who you are and what you do, who is your audience specifically, what's your tone? Give it 3 to 5 adjectives, okay? So not just vague ones. What do you never want to sound like? And what's the feeling you want your content to leave people with? So once you've written that out, even in rough form, you paste it at the start of every AI conversation about your content. That's it. That's the foundation. So you keep that. Now, part two is your content system. This is where most people kind of get stuck, okay? Not because they don't have things to say, but because they're starting from a blank page every single time. And that is freaking exhausting. And it's really why content gets inconsistent. So, a content system has two pieces. First, you have a content calendar with themes, not just dates, but each week or month has a focus. This week is about client results. Next week is about education. The week after that is behind the scenes. You'll never be asking yourself, what do I post today? You already know the theme, so you just need the specific post, okay? And the second part of that content system is your prompt library. These are pre-written prompts for the types of content you post more often. Okay. So you have a weekly tip post, maybe. You might have a testimonial post, an engagement question, behind the scenes post. So you combine your brand voice with one of these, plug it in this week's theme, and you have a finished post in minutes. And with these two things, a themed calendar and a prompt library, you can sit down once a week or even once a month and generate everything that you need. Now, the third part three of this whole thing is repurposing and conversion. This third part is what makes this actually sustainable long term. And it's the part almost nobody does. One piece of content done well can become 5 pieces of content. You want to know how? Your Instagram post becomes a LinkedIn post with a different framing. It becomes an email to your list. It becomes a short video script. It becomes a quote graphic. AI makes this fast, so you're not rewriting from scratch. You're adapting. Same idea, different format, 20 minutes instead of starting over. And when we create video content, I can show you how we can create your AI clone to speak in your voice, and you have videos while your hair is in a messy bun and you're not on camera, okay? The conversion piece of this part three, what that means is somewhere in your content rotation, you make a direct offer, okay? Not a hint, not DM me for info, but an actual specific offer with a specific price and a specific next step. Visibility without an offer is just performance. It feels good, but it doesn't pay the bills, okay? And underneath all 3 of these parts is something I call the Watch Me method. And that's the book that I wrote. But the Watch Me method, this is 5 principles, okay? It's withdraw from explanation, act before approval, take up space publicly, commit without consensus, and hold the vision when no one else does. Now, I won't go through all 5 today, but I want you to notice this isn't really about AI. AI is the tool. The mindset underneath it is what actually changes things. Okay. So I want to share a quick story because I think it makes all of this real instead of like theory. Okay. So I had a client, and I'm not going to name all the clients. Okay. But a specific client came to mind that she came to me. It was about 2 years ago. And she had been in business for over 5 years. She was genuinely really good at what she did. Her clients loved her, customers loved her, but online, she was basically invisible. She would like post in bursts and then go quiet for a few weeks. She tried ChatGPT before and said it just didn't sound like her. So we sat down and we built her brand voice prompt first, just like I described. That took about 20 minutes. Then we built her a content calendar and her prompt library. Within 3 weeks, she went from, and this is somebody who like did not like technology, okay? Did not like planning out her social media strategy. But within 3 weeks, she went from posting maybe twice a month to posting 5 times a week consistently. And the content actually sounded like her. It wasn't copy and paste from the company that she represented. It wasn't images that she got from her company. Her engagement, her inquiries, her customers, her sales, they went up 3 times, and she booked and had 2 new team members directly from a post. So here's the part I want you to really hear. She didn't get more disciplined. She didn't suddenly have more time. Who does, right? But she built a system, and the system did the heavy lifting. So that's the whole point of today. Okay. It's not about working harder, and it's not about some magic AI hack. It's about building the system so it keeps working for you. Now, you know what the system is, right? The question is, what's the fastest way for you to actually have it? And there are 3 paths, depending on where you are. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through all 3, and I'll tell you honestly which one I think most people in the room should consider first. So, option 1 is the AI Brand Accelerator. This is the one I built specifically for people who want to build this system themselves with me live over 5 weeks in a small group capped at 10 women. Okay, by the end of the 5 weeks, you're going to have your brand voice prompt, your 30-day and then 90-day content calendar, your prompt library, your repurposing system, and a direct offer published. Everything we talked about today, built live with me in the room. And it's $797 for the cohort. There's also a VIP option at $1497, and that includes 2 private sessions with me. Okay, there's only 3 VIP spots per cohort. Okay, now we're going to start this cohort in just about a week or so. So space is going to be first come, first serve. So if you're someone who learns by doing, who wants accountability, and who wants this built within the next 5 weeks, then this one's for you. Option 2, I have the AI visibility audit. So those that want the roadmap first, okay? If the accelerator feels like a bigger commitment than you're ready for right now, totally fine. The AI visibility audit is a 60-minute one-on-one session with me. We go through your specific business. We identify your top 3 AI opportunity gaps, and I hand you a written roadmap with starter prompts built for your situation. Okay, it's only $297, and think of this as the fastest way to get individualized clarity. And honestly, a lot of people who start with the audit end up going into the accelerator next, because once they see what's possible, they want the full build. Okay, and then option 3 is a done for you AI visibility system, and this is for business owners. Okay, so if you're a small business owner, big business owner, and you're thinking this all sounds great, but I don't have the bandwidth to build this myself. I get it. And that's why I created this. So I offer a done for you version. I build the entire system for your business. Your brand voice prompt, your content calendar, prompt library, 30 ready to publish posts, and I hand it off to you or your team with training in 30 days. And now that one is $2,500, and I can only take 3 to 5 of these a month. Okay, so there's 3 paths. You can either build it with me over 5 weeks, get a roadmap in 1 session, or have me build it for you and your business entirety. So for most people watching, honestly, my recommendation would be the accelerator. It's where the framework will meet real. It becomes super real, super fast with support. Okay, so before we wrap, because you showed up, I want to give you something extra. If you roll in the accelerator within the next 24 hours, I'm going to add a free one-on-one session with me. Okay, so one-on-one, you get me when you enroll in the accelerator within 24 hours. So that's by Thursday, June 18th, okay, at 8 p.m. That's how long you get. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to drop the links for all of these programs, but message me if you have any questions. If you need some clarity and not sure which path is the right path for you, I can definitely help discover what is the easiest and best path for you moving forward. Okay. So thanks so much for listening. If you watch this on replay, type in hashtag replay. I hope what we covered gave you a completely different way of thinking about AI and your visibility. And if you're really ready to actually build it, I would be honored to be the person who helps you do that. So have a great night and let me know if you have any questions.